Okay, so are you ready to have your mind blown? We're about to embark on a totally epic journey to 25 of the most insane natural wonders on this planet. Get ready for towering waterfalls that'll make you feel like an ant, jungles bursting with more life than you can imagine, and landscapes so surreal you'll think you're on another planet. Seriously, buckle up, it's about to get wild. Picture this, over 1 million wildebeest and a gazillion zebras all migrating across the Serengeti. It's pure chaos, but in the most beautiful way possible. Dust clouds everywhere, the sound of hooves pounding the ground, and predators lurking on the edges just waiting for their chance. It's like the circle of life on fast forward, you know? You guys, you haven't lived until you've seen a stampede of wildebeest thundering across the plains. It's seriously one of the most awe-inspiring sights on Earth, and the best part? It happens year after year like clockwork. Nature is wild. Okay, get ready to enter a whole new world because the Amazon rainforest is next level. We're talking billions of trees, more species of plants and animals than you can even count, and enough humidity to make your hair stand on end. Imagine walking through a dense jungle, the air thick with the smell of damp earth and exotic flowers. Vines dangle from every tree, colorful birds flit through the undergrowth, and monkeys swing from the canopy high above. It's like stepping into a real-life Jurassic Park, but with less dinosaur chasing, hopefully. Prepare to be amazed, because Angel Falls in Venezuela is not your average waterfall. This bad boy plunges almost a kilometer straight down from a tabletop mountain. That's taller than 3 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other. You can actually see the spray from miles away, and the sound of the water crashing to the ground below is deafening. It's seriously one of the most impressive displays of nature's power you'll ever witness. Okay, so the Grand Canyon is basically like a giant crack in the earth, but make it fashion. I'm talking miles of colorful rock layers carved out over millions of years by the Colorado River. It's seriously mind-boggling how old this place is. You could stare into the canyon for hours and never get bored. Every layer of rock tells a story, and the sheer scale of the place is just, wow. It's no wonder the Grand Canyon is one of the most visited natural wonders in the world. Forget everything you thought you knew about waterfalls, because Victoria Falls is here to steal the show. It's the largest waterfall in the world by volume, and the spray from the cascading water can be seen from miles away. It's seriously like a wall of water. Standing at the edge of Victoria Falls is an experience you'll never forget. The roar of the water is deafening, the air is thick with mist, and you can feel the power of nature vibrating through your entire body. It's exhilarating and terrifying all at the same time. Get ready to dive into a world of color, because the Great Barrier Reef is like the underwater version of a rainbow. It's the largest coral reef system in the world, and it's home to thousands of different species of fish, turtles, sharks, and other marine life. Imagine swimming through a coral garden surrounded by fish of every shape and size. It's like stepping into a real-life aquarium, but way more awesome. Just try not to touch anything, okay? We gotta protect this underwater paradise. Okay, so Antarctica is basically like the ultimate travel destination for anyone who loves penguins, icebergs, and really, really cold weather. It's the coldest, windiest, and driest continent on Earth, and it's basically just one giant sheet of ice. But don't let the harsh conditions fool you. Antarctica is also one of the most beautiful and pristine places on the planet. Imagine seeing massive glaciers calving into the ocean, pods of whales breaching the surface, and penguins waddling around like they own the place. It's an experience you'll never forget, even if your fingers are a little numb afterwards. Okay, so you know how sometimes the sky just looks really, really pretty? Well, the Northern Lights are like that, but on steroids. Imagine vibrant streaks of green, blue, and purple dancing across the night sky. It's like a rave thrown by Mother Nature herself. Seeing the Northern Lights is a truly magical experience, and it's no wonder that people travel from all over the world just to catch a glimpse. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of nights, there's still beauty to be found. Okay, so imagine thousands of limestone islands all jutting out of the emerald green waters of Ha Long Bay. It's like something out of a fairy tale. but with less singing animals probably. You can explore hidden caves, kayak through the islands, or just relax on a boat and soak up the scenery. It's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life and just be one with nature. You guys, Zhangjiajie National Forest is straight out of a dream. Imagine towering sandstone pillars covered in lush vegetation and often shrouded in mist. It's no wonder that this place was the inspiration for the floating mountains in the movie Avatar. You can hike to the top of the pillars for breathtaking views, take a cable car ride through the forest, or just wander around and admire the scenery. It's like stepping into another world, and you'll probably never want to leave. Okay, so Yellowstone is basically like a giant geothermal playground. We're talking geysers that erupt hundreds of feet into the air, colorful hot springs, and bubbling mud pots that smell like rotten eggs, but in a good way. It's science, but make it weird. And if that's not enough to convince you to visit, Yellowstone is also home to a ton of wildlife, including bison, elk, wolves, and yes, even bears. Just remember to keep your distance and admire these creatures from afar. Lake Baikal in Siberia is not just any lake. It's the deepest lake in the world, holding more water than all of the Great Lakes combined. It's also one of the oldest and clearest lakes on Earth, which is pretty impressive for a body of water that's been around for like 25 million years. You can go swimming if you dare brave the cold water, take a boat trip to one of the many islands, or just relax on the shore and enjoy the peace and quiet. Okay, so the Sahara Desert is basically like the ultimate sandbox. It's the largest hot desert in the world, covering most of North Africa, and it's full of towering sand dunes, scorching temperatures, and more stars than you can count. You can ride a camel through the desert, camp out under the stars, or visit a traditional Berber village and learn about their way of life. Just make sure you pack plenty of water because it gets seriously hot out there. Okay, so you know how sometimes you see a picture online and you're like, that can't be real? Well, Pamukkale is one of those places. It's basically a series of white travertine terraces, filled with turquoise thermal waters that look like they were carved out of ice cream. It's seriously surreal. You can walk barefoot through the terraces, soak in the warm waters, or just admire the view from afar. Just be careful not to slip, because those terraces can be slippery. Okay, so the Giant's Causeway is basically like a bunch of hexagonal basalt columns all fitted together like a giant puzzle. Legend has it that the causeway was built by a giant, but it was actually formed by volcanic activity millions of years ago. Science! You can walk along the causeway, explore the surrounding cliffs, or just sit back and admire the view of the Irish Sea. It's a pretty magical place. And that's a wrap on our whirlwind adventure to 25 of the most mind-blowing natural wonders on Earth. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling so inspired to get out there and explore more of this incredible planet. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed the ride and hit subscribe for more travel shenanigans. And be sure to let me know in the comments which natural wonder you're dying to visit. Until next time, stay curious.